Whoa.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
So,
Why did Brian just sound like the Wizard of Oz from behind the curtain?
well, here's the thing. I have a voice effects
Hey.
pedal.
And what the problem is I don't want to wait anymore. I just want to tell everybody that just feel comfortable.
Oh my gosh.
That's scary.
I got it on,
That
and
is
it's
scarily
expired.
amazing.
Yes, it's expired, yes, and I can't use it, but I still would like the discount. So,
Brian, you're not going to ask
Aaron,
us.
is that you?
You're not going to ask us to see our manager, are you?
I definitely want to speak to the manager, and if he's not available, I am going to corporate. Okay, that
Brian.
is what's happening.
Brian,
Yes.
say peach Bellini.
Peach Bellini.
Say, I want my peach Bellini.
Yeah.
I want my peach Bellini, and I want it now.
Oh my
That is
God.
scary.
I've been waiting for, I don't know, 7 minutes. This is ridiculous.
That is scary. Oh my gosh,
All
it's
right.
messing
See,
me up.
the thing is that nobody can see that you're doing that, so
Yeah.
it just sounds like we've got another woman on the show right now.
I
That's
It's
don't-
not true.
That's not true. I am Woman Hear Me Roar. Helen Reddy was my inspiration, and I'm so excited.
Already.
It does kind of have like a Brian cadence to it, but it's definitely
No, yeah.
feminine.
it's weird to look at him while he's talking like that.
It's a
That
bit
is very
raspy.
weird.
It's a bit raspy. It's kind of like a smoking lady.
Well, I am from New
Okay.
Jersey, and we were raised on camels. So that's kind of why
Everywhere.
that happens. Yes.
Raised on
Okay.
camel cigarettes, not the dromedaries.
Correct. But the camels would babysit. We would babysit us with camels. We would look at them while we smoked camels.
See, this is the problem with this. There's no organization in this show, and I'm not sure whose fault it is, but I had no idea that you had a effects pedal and you could do stuff like that.
That's Brian's fault. I'm going to put that on Brian. He gets to
That's
apologize.
fine.
He can apologize for it later.
He just
Yeah.
sprung it on us.
To clarify, the person talking has not been our special guest, Jasmine. Jasmine should say something.
Yeah, say
Hey
something.
everyone, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here, to be honest.
That is a real lady, everyone.
There you go. That was not Brian.
Also a real Australian.
I am
Oh,
a
yeah.
real Australian too. I want to go ahead and hang out with kangaroos, and I think it's great.
I think
I think
just
it's really
because
great.
you identify as one, I don't know that it makes you one, especially with that accent.
No kidding. All right, now,
Okay.
Jasmine, I want you to say, I want my peach Bellini and I want it now.
I don't even know what peach Bellini is,
It's a
but apparently I
freezing-
want it, and I want it now.
it's a film director who is also a fruit.
It's a type of cigarette.
I keep pulling my leg.
Oh, I thought it was an alcoholic drink.
Can you
No.
hear that?
There was
Yeah.
a famous director named Bellini, right? Nobody got that.
That may be. No, the peach Bellini is a candle. It's a Yankee candle scent.
Not Yankee, Bath and Body Works.
Oh, Bath and Body Works. I'm sorry.
That's important.
If you smelled one candle, you've smelled them all.
If you smelled one.
This is also not Brian, you guys.
Sorry, Brian, and not Brian.
That'll be a new game. Is this Brian or not?
Brian or not?
Brian or not Brian?
Man.
Gosh, this has already been a full show.
I feel really bad that everybody's wishing us a happy 24th in Australia, but it's actually the 25th.
Oh,
All right, I'm going to take our guest backstage.
Okay.
don't eat the snacks, Jasmine. I mean, don't eat all of them.
Snacks.
Don't eat all of them.
Oh, I thought the music was ending. I was panicked. Welcome, everybody. It's going to be such a fun show. I can't wait. Let's stop our theme song and let's just start the show right now. Woo! Boy, that was almost dead on. Hey, welcome to
What
Skews.
you're trying to do. I never understand what you're trying to do in that moment. Are you trying to cut at the same time the music ends?
Yeah, we're trying to
Okay.
get it to be exactly when the music ends.
Because I thought I was supposed to be doing something. You're like, we're so close now. I don't. What did I? Missed it.
Yeah, you didn't get the memo.
Yeah, unstated goals.
Hey, welcome everybody to Starving Comics. This is a show that it's going to be so much fun. Brian's here with us tonight. Juwan is with us tonight, and Jasmine is with us, and she's going to teach us more Australian. That's coming up really soon. Juwan confessed earlier that he's actually been taking Duolingo to learn how to speak Australian, and so he's got a leg. Got a leg up on the rest of it.
I got a little crown, level 3, 4 right now. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna destroy you guys in this today.
Well, I want to read this. I want to read this actual email that we got from an actual person, actually. And this is to our Skews people, and it says, "Hi there. I just received my Skews Coos, and I thought I should share my thoughts." And that's the correct instinct. When you receive your Skews Coos, there's a lot of emotions that you want to work through, and we're here to help you work through it. I'll have to admit that when I ordered my Skews Coos, I was a bit skeptical. How could this compare with ice in keeping my carbonated beverage cold? But when it arrived, my skeptical thoughts were immediately wiped away. I was amazed that it folded up so completely in the envelope, and how soft the foam that it's made of is almost therapeutic. Its green color is bright and friendly.
Yeah, totally agreed.
That's a special one. You can't order that.
Its green color is bright and friendly, and it is amazing at keeping the beverage cool without watering it down. I also found that it is a highly educated professional with a previous career as an art critic. I'm not sure what that meant either. Now I have someone I can talk to that can also tell me the value of my original Picassos. It's $0 well spent. So I'm pleased with my Skews Coos because I came looking for a beverage cooler, and I left with a lifelong friend.
That just warms the heart, doesn't it? It just warms the heart.
Well, I'm wondering. My question is, did they stick it into their drink? Because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like they substituted ice for the Coos.
They get a big glass and then stuck the Coos in, and then just pour the drink in.
It just keeps absorbing it in.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much to keep it cold. It doesn't affect the temperature at all. No, I don't know. I'm assuming that anybody that watches this show is capable of understanding how a koozie works. I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right. So the other thing that I feel is important that we get out into the public is a little thing that came up during our deprogramming at the end of last week's show. What many people don't understand is that we pour hours of energy and time into debriefing after this show is over, and we go over every detail, what worked, what didn't work.
We usually finish Wednesday morning.
Finish around Wednesday morning, bleary-eyed.
So it's a lot of work, but it's all for you.
All for you. And last week during the debrief, our own Brian April, which seems to be a thing that he's doing now with regularity. He just springs these things on us. But he said that while Brant was talking last week about the guy solving the Rubik's Cube with his feet, what did you say, Brian?
I was desperately wanting to jump in and take off for a second because we talk about it, but I have a Rubik's Cube, and this is a special Rubik's Cube. If you look,
it's got a bubble dimension, got a black hole in it,
and you can see what's in my. You can see what's in my heart, which is palm trees.
Sunset. Your heart's all sunset.
And we're also using this for medical. Yeah, exactly. For a medical device, this is just a medical examination.
Brian,
just
I got good
everything-
news and bad news. You got
Exactly.
a brain.
The good news is you appear healthy, but I can see completely through your head.
Exactly. So,
All right, so he's going to solve it for us.
well, I'm going to
really
mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I really wanted to. I actually did a Rubik's Cube competition, which we talked about. It was me and about 70 13-year-old boys, which was
Nothing better to do on a Friday.
exactly. I got absolutely destroyed.
Really?
I think
They beat you?
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, I had no shot. They take an average of your top 3 times, so you do it 3 times. I came in 37th, I think, which I was really surprised at. The winning time was like they averaged like 10 seconds to solve, and I think my fastest time ever.
So the takeaway is that you beat 35 13-year-olds.
Yes, which I'm very excited about, and I put that on my website as an accomplishment, so you guys can check that out. That's one of the things. So, you want to explain a little bit of what I'm doing because people always wonder. Okay,
go ahead.
So what happens is people try to solve side, and it doesn't work that way. So basically, what you do is you build out a cross on the top, and you guys can talk a little bit too because I'm just kind of like every time I do this.
We can't.
Okay.
No, we can't.
So basically, yes, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say right away, I know people that are Rubik's Cube aficionados. I can tell how serious they are by the fact that you can flick aside and rotate it just by going. Whoop.
Right.
Like, when you get a new one, they don't even move. Oh,
no, they don't.
No, they don't.
They're really terrible. This is actually a speed cube, which I bought. It was imported and built custom. Actually,
a speed cube sounds. It was built custom for my fingers.
What are the options?
They measured my fingertips.
Exactly.
This guy with big hands has them.
Exactly. So basically, what you want to do is you want to do layers, right? And then once you get to this layer, sorry, I know it's taking a long time.
No,
this is
when you said layers, you want to build layers, right? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
you want to build layers.
I always want to build layers, whether I'm talking about Rubik's cubes or cakes or
almost done.
cakes, right?
Lasagna.
It's a 7-layer Rubik's cube. But anyway.
Oh my gosh! Nobody
there.
was timing him. We're gonna say it was 13 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yes, it's called the speed cube, and thankfully you weren't timing me because that was really terrible. But my fastest time ever is 27 seconds, and
that was like but that was like jogging when you're a sprinter. You just went for a jog on the Rubik's
cube. Casually, you know.
Yeah, it's like,
because they say you want to be able to have a conversation. You know,
you just did a thing that would have taken me a month to do. So.
Yeah. Actually, I just would get to the point where I'd smash it and all the pieces come out, and you can put it, snap it back on there, and then
right.
Yeah. Most people do that, or they take the stickers off and they do that.
Are you guys called cubists?
Speed. You cut out. Right, he cut out. Okay, so we're called. They call them speed cubers, basically, for people who are competitive cubers. Yeah. You're cubers, so it's a speed cube, a racing Rubik's cube, and I have a whole bunch. I have all the way from a 2x2 all the way up to a 7x7.
Wait, what? 2x2? Like, is that
so? It's 2 squares by 2 squares. Yeah, it's 2 squares by 2 squares, so it's 4 squares. And then I have a 7x7, which is instead of 3x3, it's it's 7 across and 7.
How is a 2x2 3-dimensional? I can't wrap my head around that. Is it flat?
No, it's the number of cubes is what they do the 2x2.
Oh, okay. It's still a cube. Got it.
So it'd be like
I caught up now.
It would be like this.
2x2 would be a coin, right?
That's what I was saying.
Rubik's coin. It's red on one side and it's blue on the other, and you gotta flip it over. It's like, hey,
that's how you mix it up. Is you just spin it. See what the record is.
Oh, I'm glad you helped me figure that out because I would have been up tonight at midnight. Jeez, I'm going.
Like 3-dimensional. So.
All right. So basically, I wanted to bring that up because in the future, there's going to be a time when Brian is probably going to interject Rubik's cubes into the conversation.
What was that?
Just show it off.
Did somebody say Rubik's Cube? And then,
What was
sure. Yeah.
And in weird news, did you say Rubik's Cube?
There might I
thought I
can see
heard-
you sneaking a Rubik's Cube into the weird news. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
it's
is
what-
not the popularity magnet that you all would think it would be. I know you think I get chased for autographs for it, but
What is wrong with people?
that is not the case.
That breaks
Yeah.
my heart.
I encouraged my wife to come into the competition and just like walk around and try to distract them because I don't know if they've ever seen like a woman in person. They're just really, but they were super focused, and I was like, "Oh, please, just give me a chance." And
I feel like in middle school, it's the kind of thing that makes you popular for exactly like 10 seconds.
yeah,
Like everybody's in class, and you're like, yeah, I solved it. And they're like, wow. Anyway, it was a Pokemon card.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. I got a
Like
fruit roll up. Would you like a fruit roll up?
Yeah, you bribe
Wow,
everything.
that's really cool. You want to hang out? No.
But any chance I get to show up, it's the truth. You know, the conversation doesn't come up often, but so whenever a chance does come up, you have to bring it up and take advantage of it.
Did somebody say Rubik's Cube?
Someone say, and this travels with me, by the way. So just in case, I'm
so-
somewhere,
You have a
because you never
holster?
know.
You have
Yeah,
like
so-
a holster for it? It's like on your
Exactly.
belt.
Yep. That's like my American Express card. Never leave home without it.
Makes it hard to sit down in airplanes, but
If I had a speed cube, I would never be anywhere without it either. What's the point? What's the point in owning one if you're going to leave it at home most of the time?
Exactly.
especially when it's custom made.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, you guys, we've got a gigantic show tonight. If this is a typical show, then tonight's show looks something like this.
Oh,
It's a caring show. It's a very caring, nurturing
Right.
show.
You understand? So this is what you're in for. This is if you're tuning in tonight for the first time for a monster show, then this is it. This is actually Jasmine's second time on Starving Comics. The first time she came on, it was so spectacular and fun that we immediately knew 5 minutes in that we were going to have to do another one. And so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, from Down Under, Jasmine Rugrock. Here she is.
Good night.
Hey guys.
Totally Australian.
All right.
That's just to prove she is, in fact, in Australia. In case anybody's skeptical out there, she's got the flag and you have like tattoos, right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, move close to the camera so everybody can see that it's not just a birthmark. It's
She went out and got tattoos specifically for the show.
all right, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Tell them what the big deal about this show is, because what's going on in Australia tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about the timing of this show is that tomorrow, the 26th of January, it is the national holiday for Australia. It is Australia Day tomorrow. And so when I walked into Woolworths yesterday, I saw all this stuff and I was like, I know exactly where I'm going to wear this. To prove that Australians can be just as patriotic as our American counterparts.
So that's when Australia became a country?
Nope. I even brushed up on my history. It was it's Plantation Day. It was when the first fleet arrived in Port Jackson in New South Wales. So it was kind of like when Australia officially became colonized by the British.
All right.
There you go.
What would be
Australia.
America Day? I can't. We don't
Yeah,
have
just Independence Day.
of Independence Day, but I feel like we need an America
Right.
Day.
Which we
Extra.
basically, that was when we did the opposite, where we kicked the British out.
Oh, yeah.
Said, yeah, we don't want to have anything to do with you. It's like the opposite. It's like the Australia Day.
Is there a particular like food, like for Thanksgiving we have certain, traditional foods? Is there a traditional food for Australia Day?
Go
It's
in.
probably either steak or sausages on a barbecue. So it's like 38, 40 degrees outside at the moment. And I don't know what that translates to you guys. Somewhere around the 100 mark, I'm assuming. It's very hot. And usually Australia Day involves the beach, barbecues, and sports, backyard cricket. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
We have crickets in our backyard. Independence Day. Also,
They're
she says,
bold.
Chirpies down there.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
pavlova. Yes, thank you, Olivia. Pavlova is a thing. I don't
Olivia's
know.
helping
I
out.
have pavlova.
And don't forget about Lamingtons.
You guys don't know what those are, do you?
Ooh,
Don't forget about
Pavlova was Pavlov's other dog.
yeah. I named him after myself.
Oh my
Hello,
god.
Pavlova.
I worked at Outback Steakhouse. It's always Australia Day at Outback.
I
Yes,
wanted to go to Outback Steakhouse so bad when I was in America just so that I could criticize the food, but I didn't get the chance to.
You didn't get to go.
I didn't get to go.
Darn it.
And
Oh
the
my
average
God.
Australian does not eat wallaby. I'm sorry to be a disappointment, but no,
The average one doesn't. What about
the
the
average one doesn't.
what
Some
about the
people
above average ones?
I would probably the kind of people that eat wallaby. I don't want to say below average, but
They have a lot of initiative. Let's just say that
It would be like us eating possums, right? You eat a
know
wallaby.
what a
It's like we eat a possum.
Is that your national icon?
Bald eagle.
Like you eating a bald eagle.
Bald eagle pie. Just like Grandma made. It's a bald eagle dump cake.
Happy America Day, everybody.
Got my
Until
bald
you
eagle
have a
dump
bald
cake.
eagle omelet, you can't call yourself an American.
Fresh out of the oven.
Insane bush people eat wallabies.
Close to the truth, Rachel. Pretty close.
Yeah, well, I had a question that I was going to ask you, but you guys confused me and I forgot it. So
Oh no.
I thought we were going to tackle the Lamingtons question, but I'm obviously going to have to Google it.
Right now, Joanne, you can just guess what a lamington is.
all right, so we actually do have some words that we're going to guess. Jasmine sent some pictures in, and we're going to put those pictures up on the screen, and then we are going to try to figure out what this item is called in Australia. And so this is the first one, and I would you have a guess, Juwan, or anybody at home, but you have a guess, Brian, Juwan. I don't know what these are either. So
That is a. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to call it a chili wampa. Chili wampa. You got to get your spray out. Take away the chili wampas.
I'll give you a tip, Joanne. If you want a shortcut learning how to speak Australian, if you go shorter, you'll probably be closer to the truth.
It's a dog.
It's the sound they make when you kill them. But no.
It's a squash. It's squish.
I was going to go with what Sherry said. I was going to say skeeta. A skeeta.
A skeeta.
I like that one.
It says a buzzer.
That's a sucker.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so creative. We call them mozzies.
Mogies?
Mozzies.
Mozzie.
Mosquitoes. You shorten to MOZZIES. Mozzies.
So if there's a bunch of them, do you go mozzie, mozzie, mozzie? Oi, oi, oi.
Aussies are stinging the Aussies.
Mozzies. Mozzie, mozzie, mozzie.
Get away from the beach.
MOZZI.
Mozzies. I'm getting flogged by mozzies would be a phrase you'd say if they were all over you and stinging you.
So if we're getting slugged by mozzies, we're being swarmed by mosquitoes.
Yeah, but you would say flogged by mozzies.
Flogged.
Yep.
Okay. I'm getting
awesome.
flogged by mozzies. Well, that's not happening. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Jasmine said that it's 38 degrees where she is, but she's talking about Celsius, you guys. She's not talking about Fahrenheit. And so if you're going, well, why would you barbecue? Why would you go to the beach when it's 38 degrees? Because it's Celsius. So
although in Wisconsin they do barbecue at 38 degrees. That's pretty weather for them.
Yeah, in shorts.
But they're not getting flogged by mozzies.
No,
not
at all.
Hold for that.
No,
Okay, so what's this thing?
This is a kind of hat, a very iconic Australian hat, and it has a particular name.
I'm going to say
I was going to guess hat, but that I can't do that now.
I would say topper.
Topper.
A
The
topper.
topper.
Gosh, that's good.
Mm,
Wow.
So
I
it's
don't-
not
think-
actually.
I don't think
Oh.
that's right.
It's
It's a brimmer.
oh, it's nice.
No. I'll shortcut this one for you because it was probably cheating to throw this one in. This one, it's known by its brand and it's called an Akubra.
And a Kubra.
Yeah.
that's what you-
Akubra.
Yeah,
Akubra.
stepped on an Akubra once.
And it's a very signature Australian hat. It's not the one I've got on. This one's actually, what is this one? This one's made by Kakadu Traders Australia. So it's a different one.
Just-
But this hat, you can recognize it from a distance that it's an Akubra.
Akubra Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Watch out for those Akubras.
Akubra Matata. Ain't no passing phase. It means no worries. No crack steakhouse these days. It's a flogging free, mozzie free. Akubra Matata.
I like it, Brian. I like it a lot.
So do you actually call them Akubras or do you just
Yeah.
call them hats? You
Well,
do call them.
if you want to just differentiate, you will say it's an Akubra. You'll ask for, if you've got a whole stash of hats, you'll ask someone to bring the Akubra.
All right.
Not the Cobra. The Akubra. You
Akubra.
leave that in its cage.
But if somebody said, if somebody said, hand me my hat, they would actually say, hand me my Akubra. If there was only one hat.
If there was only one hat, you could probably say hat, but yeah, it's interchangeable. You could use hat or Akubra. Neither would be odd, is more what I'm saying.
I like the idea of a cobra, which is just a cobra just sitting on your head. That's just a hat made out of the cobra just sitting there.
It's very
I like that.
dangerous. Australian is dangerous, so that seems like that's in the spirit
That
of
can
the
be the
moment.
diehard version of the Akubra.
I like Kickadoo better. Is that what was your hat?
Kakadu Traders.
Kakadoo. I'm doing that.
I like that one better too.
Hand me the Kakadoo.
I just think it's
Kakadoo.
interesting. It's interesting to refer to something by its brand name, like an article of clothing by its brand name. I'm trying to think if there's an article of clothing that we do that with in the States.
Levi's?
We do that.
Yeah,
with
Levi's.
not just clothing though.
Not so much with clothing because we have Xerox, Kleenex.
Oh yeah, Nikes.
Right, but we
the
don't say
South-
that. We don't say I'm putting on my Nikes, do we?
Yeah, you say
I
Nikes.
don't.
I wear my Nikes.
Maybe because I don't have
You
Nikes.
put it like
Maybe that's why.
anything.
Maybe if I had Nikes, I would.
Because we have some items that aren't just clothing that we refer to as a brand name, and one might come up later.
Speedos.
Mm.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
You don't say
Speedos,
maybe
yeah.
one might.
Speedos.
Maybe like FUBU back in the 90s.
You say Speedos instead of horrible mistake.
Right.
Yes, no. Amanda, I was just thinking. Wait, do you pronounce them Nikes?
Nikes.
You pronounce them Nike.
Nike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Is it
Crikey.
Nike?
Yeah,
I
it's
say
Nike.
Nike.
Yeah, it's Nike.
Okay.
Like Crikey.
Well,
Nike, it's a Nike.
I'm glad I could be
Nike.
here for you guys to mispronounce it.
Nicky.
Hey, I get it.
Sounds like a hipster. Sounds like a millennial name. I'm Nicky with two E's.
Wait.
Except,
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Converse,
Oh yeah.
Vans is another one.
Tuesday.
Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom.
But maybe Fruit of the Loom. But you don't say,
Ah, yeah.
I'm wearing my Fruit of the Loom. Stetson is, but that's another hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are legit. All right.
Is Stetson a brand?
Stetson is a brand.
Maker.
Okay. So it's the same thing.
Rocky.
Nike, right? Okay. I get it. Okay.
Rub it right in.
You guys have made your point. Okay. All right. No, I think I know what this one is, so I'm going to guess last.
Yeah, come on. I believe you guys have got this one.
Shitas.
Yeah.
I'll do just a couple more. Shitas.
This is a family show, Juwan.
Oh. We'll fix that in post, everybody. Sorry.
Like Juwan's trying it out by using the accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Well, that's the only way it fits. You just got
Shaders. How about
ear grabbers,
shaders?
No, you guys are all barking up the wrong tree.
head pinches.
I think I know what it is, though. I'm going to guess before you.
Eye covers.
Eye covers, sun peeps.
blockers.
You're missing the. Oh,
I think Sherry's right. I think
Sherry
it's
got it.
sunny.
Terry got it. Rachel got it. Nailed it. Very
The
good.
sunnies.
I'm starting to lose faith. Thank
So
you.
just go with the first couple of letters of the item.
That's it.
And
Like I
then-
said, shorten. If your first rule is like
Okay.
to shorten it.
All right.
But that wouldn't have worked with mosquito.
She said mozzie.
Yes, it
Mozzie, yeah.
No,
Mozzie.
Mosquito.
Okay, but then it wouldn't work with the hat.
does. It didn't work
do
with
it.
the hat. No, it didn't work with the hat.
I'm ready to
All right, well,
apply
let's-
this new rule, though.
Let's try it with the next one. Let's see how that works.
Oh,
These are
it's a Aussie.
A henny. It's a henny.
The second that rule was going to be
Oh, yeah,
helpful,
Henny.
and now it's suddenly not going to be.
Walkie.
It's a
Oh, that's
it's a
good
it's a
rule.
clucky.
Henny. Yeah.
It's a clucky.
Oh, clucky. Wait, no, we did that one last time. What was clucky?
And no, its name is not Barbara.
Barbara the chicken. Look at her staring at me.
Oh, let's
Got
see.
your number,
None
Barbara.
of these are right. None of these
A
are
lot of
right.
clucks. A henny. Gosh, if it's not a henny.
Oh, I know.
It's a fluffer. What a fluffer on there.
Egg machine.
Oh, egg machine.
Oh, that's, I think it's a word in your vocabulary, to be honest. Probably throwing you for a 6 there.
It's
It's
a word.
it's a chook.
A chook.
The chook.
Okay, spell
Hey.
chook.
There we go.
Hmm.
Abby got it. Abby's probably
I believe that's in my vocabulary.
Yes, Aussie.
Whoa. How does that is that an American word?
a chook.
Do we have an equivalent? Okay. I thought you said was the word we have.
You refer to like grown chickens as chooks, and then they have chooks.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
You say chick.
So it's roosters, chooks, and chicks,
So, okay.
and their
Well,
breed is chicken.
I like chook filet. Chook fried steak.
Ooh.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Chook fried steak.
Kentucky fried chook. Kentucky fried chook. Sweet chook of mine.
Uh,
All right, so
I'm
this
going
is-
to go off the
this is-
premise that this is a sandwich. I'm going to give you that much. But what would we call a sandwich?
A Sammy.
a Sammy.
that was good. That's not it.
It's good, but it's
Sammy.
not there.
Oh, the semi. It's
It's not there. I was going to say
I
it's a
love seeing you
BLT.
apply the rule though. Like props for the applying the rule. It's close, but it's not.
it can sand.
Hmm.
Sand.
A bread squishy.
Make me a sand.
I want to get me a bread squishy with some chook.
Is it a ham? It's ham and cheese. So it's a hammy. It's a hammy Sammy.
It is
Chicken,
not. It is. We call it a sanger.
a stanger.
So SANGA.
S-A-G-A.
It sounded like it was in the
Sanger.
past tense.
So you
Ham
have
and
a,
cheese sanger.
A chook sanger.
a chook
Chook
sanger.
sanger. Cheese sanger.
Peanut
chook
butter
and-
sanger.
A chook and cheese sanger.
Cheese.
Tabby's telling me there's no G in sandwich, and I have to concede that she's correct, but I never said that we made sense.
What does Tabby know?
Oh, because it's okay.
It's
does
not
it
like
fit our
Tabby
rules?
doesn't make up a few of her own words. Oh, look at this, Brian.
Why did you single out Brian?
Because look at all those
Like
jimmies.
Yep, those are Jimmy's on
Wait,
top.
Jimmy's? Wait, no,
Yeah.
hold the bus. Hold the bus. What do you call them?
Jimmies.
In New England, where I grew up, they're called Jimmies. Sprinkles are not called sprinkles; they're called Jimmies.
What is that the same as in Australia?
No,
Yep. See?
Oh,
not at all. We call these hundreds and thousands.
oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Or
Hundreds and
sprinkles. I have never
Yeah.
heard of Jimmy's in my life. I'm trying to think of all the places I've taken that completely out of context now.
That would be a funny.
Yeah, they're called. You would get ice cream with Jimmy's, and then there's chocolate Jimmy's and there's rainbow Jimmy's.
I'm just processing this.
She's never heard that in her life, Brian.
I
And see,
am not.
the person from the other side of the planet with all of the weird things like chook and
Yeah.
Sanga, she's making fun of you guys for saying Jimmy.
I mean,
Process the-
to be fair, I have no idea why they're called Jimmys. I'm no
That's
makes
the
no rational.
bizarrest thing. Well, we call them hundreds and hundreds and thousands with butter on bread has a name in Australia.
What is it?
Disgusting.
What's it called?
bread and butter.
We call it fairy bread, and you have it at kids' birthday parties. It's like the thing. It doesn't matter how old you are. You walk in and you see white bread with butter and hundreds of thousands. It's fairy bread. It is the best stuff.
Is that what this is? Is that fairy bread?
Sorry,
Are we
John.
looking- Are we looking at fairy bread here? Is that
Yes,
what
you are
that is?
looking at fairy bread.
It's
That is
only
fairy
butter and bread.
And only insane people cut it in squares.
Oh, well, yeah,
It
of
has
course.
to be in triangles.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Oh, yeah. Well, that I understand.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Squares are for losers. The hundreds and thousands. That's what they call them. Hundreds and thousands.
And I know it sounds really long, but we don't shorten that.
Yeah.
You put hundreds and thousands on anything, it is hundreds and thousands. It's not hundreds, it's not thousands. You don't shorten to something.
H and T's, tons and thous.
Hundreds and thousands.
No,
Tons.
we'll shorten a lot of things, but we will
When
not
I'm on,
shorten.
when I'm on walkabout, I like to have hundreds and thousands.
That's a
Hunsies
saucy.
Huns and thousies.
Tons and thousands. I put that up for vote. Bring that to the next Australian council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
We need to shorten hundreds and thousands.
I
It took
think
me
that's
8 hours to make my child's fairy bread.
You don't have to say it
Too
for
long
every
to-
sprinkle you put on there.
you change it to
Hundreds and thousands. Hundreds and thousands. You're
change
right.
it to tens and
Oh.
twenties because there's just too many. All right, so what's this, you guys?
It's saucy. Still,
That is pig finger.
big finger. I like it.
All right.
It's a fork.
That's well, nice.
It is a fork. What is on the fork?
That's a
Somebody
squealer.
gets a fork.
That is
It's a fork.
It is a sausage, but we call them something else occasionally.
You guys call those forks, or is that like a quad prong or a
We call them-
sticky?
We're not animals. We do
No,
call them forks.
You have to you get to shorten it, John, so it's just a
It's a
we call it
fuzzy.
It's a
Fuzzy.
stick.
Ooh, scissor.
hand me a
Is that
knife
right?
and a
Somebody said a banger. Is that a banger?
Oh,
A banger? A
only
sizzler?
if it's with mash. But so no, you don't typically call them that unless you've
Okay.
got mash with it.
Okay.
Okay. So jiggers?
Creative answers, but none of them are right.
Now you guys are just making things up.
All right.
Us?
Not
Really?
like us. Not like us. We're not making them up at all.
Right. We're just
So Australian for sausage is snag.
see. I figured that Abby was right because she's from there, so I didn't say that.
How many times do you
Have
ask
guys ever
for
guessed some things?
what's
A
it called?
snag.
Yep. So
A
you
snag.
put snags on the barbie.
With snags on the bobby. See, in the States, that is the illegal way to catch fish.
It's also something that messes things up. So you hit a snag.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
it is that here too.
You
But
ever ask for a snag singer? You get a snag singer?
That's
It's
actually
like-
pretty
what's the next slide? Actually,
That's pretty funny. We're sorry we're
Oh.
late. We're sorry we're late, but we hit a snag on the way over. And you're like, "Good grief." How big was
How-
that
How
snag?
big
I'm,
was it?
I'm gonna totally just give that to you, Juan.
Oh.
Well done. We will. It's a sausage sanger,
Oh, sausage singer.
and,
Well, they
and
don't do a snag?
we don't say snag sanger generally because it doesn't roll off the tongue as well as sausage sanger. And sausage sangers are quintessential Australian food. If you go to a big hardware store called Bunnings every Sunday. I think they have a sausage sizzle, and you can get sausage sangers, and they give them to you like that. There was a
Like this, they hand
there
them
was
to you
a
like
big problem some year or so ago.
It comes with someone's hand.
That's how they hand them to you.
you just go like this.
Maybe it would catch on if you called him a snanger.
It's already caught on, Juan. There was a big controversy though, because somebody dropped some of the fried onion that came off their sausage sanger on the floor of the Bunnings warehouse, and it was a health and safety risk thing. And so they started putting the onion underneath the snag when they put it in the bread, and everybody was up in arms about that because that's not how you make a sausage sanger. And so
they threw them all on the ground, so there was sangers everywhere.
You know what? Stanger. So everybody was up in arms about this. This was a big deal in
they
Australia.
had to change the way they put onion on the sausage sangers so that the onion would be less inclined to fall off and cause like a slipping hazard. And it's just not how you eat it. The snag goes on first, and then the onion, and then the sauce. It's just, I have a real issue with it, guys.
Yeah. No.
What my country's come to.
Look at what we've come to.
No kidding. I was under the impression that everything in Australia was smooth sailing, but you guys have got real problems over there.
Yeah, it's just make it personal.
Under.
No, move the slide before I start crying.
I can't handle it anymore. Oh, that's a sweaty. Grab me a sweaty. It's 10 degrees outside. Give me my sweaty.
I feel like I've given you such a. It's actually a good piece of advice, and now it suddenly doesn't apply to anything I've tried.
Nothing hasn't worked for anything after the first.
Now that's called an upper.
That's a good way to tell me I'm wrong.
Put on your
by the way,
upper.
too.
Upper? I'm gonna go with woolly.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, technically, you could be right, because when you pull out all your like winter clothes, you say that you pull out your winter woolies, but it's actually a jumper.
What?
Yeah, and I know you guys don't. You guys have jumpers, but they're different. They're a different piece of clothing altogether.
It's a woolly jumper.
A sweater is a jumper in Australia.
A jumper.
Jumper.
A jumper.
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 It's like that Third Eye Blind song, Jumper. That's what this song was about, was a woolly. They went to woolies.
Yeah, we got dissension here. I feel like John at least gets half a point for that.
Yes, I definitely think that John gets some points for that.
I think so too.
Well done. Especially because it has nothing to do with the original word. So
well, and I was trying to apply, some logic to this, which is evidently not what you do in Australia very often. So you just sort of name things whatever you feel like naming them. But all right, so this is a.
Okay, so in Canada, this is a toque.
Right.
Oh, really? I did not know.
In Australia.
Yep. That's going to be I'm going to say a puffer.
Ooh.
Throw that other one up. No, somebody was like super close. Who was that? It was yes, very close.
A beanie?
A toque.
Beanie is right.
Oh,
beanie is correct.
Beanie. They call them beanies.
It's a beanie.
You
don't
guys
call those
them beanies.
You don't call those beanies.
It depends.
Yeah, without the little
It's regional.
Yeah.
My mum had a friend from. No, I'll pronounce this wrong every time, but I'm going to go with it. My mum had a friend from Oregon. Is it Oregon?
Oh, you did the
Oregon.
American accent.
She had no idea what a beanie was, so I wasn't sure if that was like a universal American thing or just her part of the country.
Yeah, sometimes people think beanies are the little thing with the propeller on them.
They are.
And down here, at least I could say beanie, and they go, "Oh yeah, that winter hat you got on there, that's a beanie."
Yeah, beanie's pretty common here too.
There you
Just
go.
doesn't usually have the big puff on it.
Right, but it's supposed to have a propeller.
I like puffer.
Yeah, our beanies don't have colors.
We just call those a sock cap, don't we? Isn't that what we call them in the Midwest?
I've heard. Oh, in the Midwest, you have no other Midwesterners on this panel with you, sir. You are alone.
You are the Midwest.
Yeah, I forgot. There's people watching.
Oh, I forgot. We have an audience. Yeah.
If you live in the Midwest, please chime in on the winter hat.
Whoops.
Girl.
Uh,
Oh, Luke.
Yeah, songs.
what did
Yeah, I was
Luke
gonna say
say? Luke
thongs.
called them thongers.
Luke was
Thongs.
close. It
I was
was
gonna say
two
thongs.
That's close.
Yep. Brian,
Yeah.
Brian, you got it.
What
Yeah,
did you say?
thongs.
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 Luke definitely gets points for that. That was very close.
There are people who call them that in the States who call them thongs.
Yeah.
Really?
What region though? Is that region specific or is that? Do you know?
Well,
Well-
that's what my mom and dad. My mom called them thongs.
Yeah, I think
when
it's a
little-
generation thing.
Mhm.
Oh, I
No
see.
idea. I thought all Americans called them flip flops.
No.
Well, many Americans do call them flip flops because we have another article of clothing that's also a thong, and it is it's underwear, and so
Yeah.
sort of
Yep.
it's like underwear that's not it's
I'm not wearing it to the beach.
well
Yeah.
one of those things one of those
Yes, they
came
do
up with
exist in Australia too. That's why they need to be referred to as plural.
Oh,
thongs.
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. Because how could you wear two?
Well, I mean, you never want to hear your parents say, "We're going to the beach wearing our thongs." So,
Oh, right.
That is actually what happened at camp, and it was either Tim Hawkins or Bob Smiley that was telling me about a story. The camp counselor at a Christian camp went forward on the first day and was talking to these kids, and he said, "I don't want you kids wearing your thongs around this week. So I want you to come up here right now and put your thongs in a big pile here." And the kids are like, "What? we're gonna do what? Thongs in a pile up here."
Oh my gosh.
oh my!
And then one of the other
Other
counselors
thong,
comes
yeah.
running from the back and whispers in his ear, and the guy goes, "Flip flops. I mean your flip flops."
Nope. Nope. It doesn't. When you're at youth
there
camp,
was no coming back from that.
Yeah.
yeah, at youth
Yeah.
camp,
No,
when
you're
that
done.
comes out, that's like trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. You just
Right.
let it
Too
go.
late. There was already thongs flying up from the back of the room. He said,
What am I gonna wear now?
so we have some other items that we're going to put up here. These are not from Jasmine, but I think Jasmine is going to recognize these
Oh.
photos, and then it's still on you guys to guess what these are. This is our weird news. Can you find it, Peach?
Oh.
It's the weird news. Straya.
Oh yeah.
Australia.
Oh, you're so close. You need to take the LI out.
Take the LI out. Yeah. It's
Give us a
Straya.
second. Straya.
Straya. Yep.
Right.
All right. So what is this?
Right.
That is-
And
Salt monkey goes on a vacation to see the beautiful outback.
Yep. I was right along there with you. Right along there with you.
Like he's got to have time off too, man.
yeah,
He's tired of
Well,
playing with.
the
I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
follow
know-
him on Instagram, and I recognize that picture. So
you're actually spending too much attention on the monkey. That's
Oh,
but you know what, Jess?
so since this is Australian, am
I
I the
have a
one?
feeling that this is the dog fence or the dingo fence. I could
That's
be wrong.
exactly right. No,
How
you're
big are
right.
the holes in that though? Dingoes can fit through that, can't they?
worst puppet show ever.
Worst puppet show.
You know what a dingo is? A
Me?
dingo's
It's just
A dingo.
Yeah,
yeah.
it eats babies.
It-
That's
That's the extent of our
That's-
knowledge.
yeah.
A steady diet of babies. That's what they eat.
That's right.
Oh dear,
No,
too soon.
Tell them what the dingo fence is.
I know that it exists and it's to keep the dingoes out. That's about all I know.
It looks like it
Have you
ends
been
about
to it?
3/4 of the way. It looks like it goes for
I
like 30 yards and then
I think when my family went out to the Red Center, and we might have driven whereabouts it is, but I haven't actually been to it.
Okay.
Is the Red Center like a strip mall, or something? Doesn't the Red Center sound like the mall? We went out to the Red Center.
It's not.
Put on our thongs.
It's out where Ayers Rock is, or Uluru. So it's right. It's the center of Australia. Hence the color of the dirt. You'll notice in that photo. So all the dirt out in the middle of Australia is red. So it's just known as the Red Center.
wow. Oh, I see the red.
Walls out there.
And that's how they like their steak at Outback Steakhouse with the Red Center.
I like mine a little more well done, but that's another.
Black as coal. I'll have mine with a red center and hers black as coal.
That's how my dad likes his sausages. He says he likes them with a bit of color on them, and by a bit of color he means have them, pretty well done.
Crunchy.
Crunchy. Crack the charcoal off the outside, and then
The color is dark gray. So the dingo fence is the longest fence in the world. It's the longest fence in the entire world. It is. Take a guess. Take a guess how long it is.
And meters, we have to do kilometers or
No,
can we say miles?
kilometers. Kilometers.
Oh.
I just keep thinking it's the Great Fence of Australia. Kind of like the Great Wall of China. You get the Great Fence of Australia.
It's visible from
Barrier
space.
Reef, the Great Sandy Desert. Yeah.
The Great Red Center.
It covers the whole continent. It covers a whole section. It cuts the continent not directly in half, but it does. It's at the southern part of Australia is completely cut off with this fence. It's thousands of kilometers.
That's good.
No.
Well done.
So
it
all
actually
the
is.
dingoes,
I will say it's.
It's
So I say
5,000
it's 3. I was going to say 3,000, but
5,600 kilometers.
so all the dingoes live on one side of Australia.
That was the idea. That they were going to keep the dingoes out of the whole section of keep them from going north, and they
Flash, it didn't work.
yeah, it didn't. Well, it worked. It
Turns
worked.
out they can dig.
You're still gonna. You're just dig, dingo, dig, boy.
Dig dingo.
You can do it.
So
all right.
it separates north and south.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We didn't have a civil war.
And there's actually some scuttlebutt. There's some arguments about whether or not it was a good idea, because you've got a big swatch of the country now that has no dingoes in it, and they are predators. And so there's things that the dingoes would normally eat have these explosions of populations now because there's nothing to keep them.
Mozzies,
Yeah.
just running around.
keep the Mozzies out.
Look,
I think
we
it'd
have
be
some
nice-
good ideas some of the time. This was not one of those times, okay?
But I think-
Not
I
your
think the
fault.
nice thing about this, we can use this as an opportunity to bring the two sides together and they can play badminton. Like it's already set up. You just come in, you meet up.
All you need is the rackets.
Right. You can
You're
also
saying
get rid of your stuffed monkeys that you don't want anymore.
That's a
All right, so
terrible
what's-
garage sale.
What's this?
Whilst you're bringing up our bad ideas, John, I did not ask for this.
Jasmine knows what is this, Joanne?
Angry Frog Sue's handler. He's always holding me so tight. I told him 1,000 times to loosen his grip. Quoth the
Somebody
frog.
said it's dinner. Hey, Rachel's got it. Rachel has it.
I don't know how you people guess these things.
Yeah. Cane toads. That's
Kermit.
exactly what. So what's the
Kermit.
Kermit? So what's the deal with cane toads, Jasmine?
Apparently, I don't know the whole story, but the rough version that I know is that apparently there's this bug that was destroying crops in Queensland, and they decided to introduce a species of cane toad that would eat this bug, which apparently worked, and then worked too well because now we have a plague of cane toads that you cannot get rid of. And it is a law that you have to kill them if you come
To
across
kill them.
Really?
Yeah.
You saw that cane toad.
It's a crime to keep a cane toad alive. That's how prolific they bred.
Wow.
Someone can correct me if I got any part of that story wrong, but it's
Poisonous
yeah.
or-
Yep.
That's
cane
so much
toad-
more eloquently than I put it, Julia. Thank you.
Right. Well,
I hear
the thing
I hear
that's
cane
funny.
toad. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brian.
I said I hear cane toad, and I think of that frog from the Warner Brothers with the
Hello,
top
my
hat.
baby. Hello, my
Hello,
baby.
exactly. Hello, my ragtime gal. They're all just running around singing that, and that's the real problem.
They won't shut up.
There's hundreds and thousands of cane toads just going, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my
Really,
rag.
that was the case, Brian. Someone could have capitalized on that ages ago and actually put the things to work. But alas, no, they're boring. They don't sting, or at least not publicly. It's our shame.
I'd
can
much
put-
rather step on a bug than a toad. I can tell you that.
So
well,
do you have
can
to
put
like?
little hats on them, and you can let them sing, but you have to kill them afterwards.
Yeah.
I think if you humiliate one beforehand, maybe that's a message that you send to the other one. Did you see what he
This
did
is
to
why
that
I'm glad
guy?
I don't live in that state, guys.
You have to humiliate the cane toad when you see it.
Did you
When you
move?
go out, do you have to have like a bat or something in the trunk of the car? So if you do see one, you're like, hold on a second, get out.
Squashy stick.
Just run it.
Drive over him. The way you said plague makes me think there's hundreds in the road too. Like
I have seen pictures of them, like they just like come up like in dozens in people's backyards and stuff.
Wow.
I think where it's the worst. I don't live in Queensland, so it's not a problem I have to worry about. Thank the Lord.
That's like those leaves when the leaves come down every fall, and you're like, oh, get the rake.
Rake
So
them.
you come into the yard, and you're like, oh, get the rake.
Grab the toad shovel, Margaret. Are they edible?
No, John, they're poisonous.
Oh,
That's-
what? No, you can't eat them.
That's the thing. That's the thing that's kind of funny about it is that they brought them to eat. They brought them in like 1930s to eat the cane beetles because they were the beetles were destroying the cane crops, and so they brought these cane toads in, and the toads don't eat those beetles. So they brought them in, but nothing will eat those toads because they're poisonous. And so they came, they did nothing that they were supposed to do. They just
I
started
didn't
eating.
ask to come on this show and watch you humiliate my country's poor decisions, John.
Oh,
I feel a little bit cheated.
No, you're not the only country that's had bad idea. We've got Japanese beetles here for the same reason, and
we
so
fry butter
yeah, we fry butter.
and eat it.
Yeah.
That's an actual food.
Um,
You can eat that.
so, yeah, don't feel bad about cane toads. We eat fried butter here, so we're not criticizing.
Definitely comparative.
All right, I think the next slide. I think we're going to bring. Yeah, Tabby's going to come in for this one because
Is
she's
this
got a
Australia
question.
positive? Is this an Australia positive news story?
I'm going to go out, and Tabby's coming in.
Are
So.
you already crying?
Abby, what have you
I am so happy that this has been discovered in my family. I found this like maybe a week ago and was trying to describe it to Dad, and I couldn't even get through half of my descriptions of it. And every time I've tried to describe it to more people, I just find it funnier and funnier and funnier. And Jasmine, I don't know if it's prevalent everywhere, but I'm going to give Brian and Joanne a chance, but I really hope you know what is going on because I need some explanations, please.
Explanations.
Clearly, this is the COVID testing center.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I was going to go with it's a festival. It's an Amazon festival. Everybody takes their empty Amazon boxes.
Amazon Day.
Yeah, Amazon Day.
Everybody takes their boxes and dresses up.
Halloween.
Nice try, Rachel, but we don't okay, well, we didn't used to celebrate Halloween. We are now, but judging by the age of this photo, no.
Why? Did you get shamed into celebrating Halloween by Americans?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
These have to be like beekeepers or something, right? Beekeepers.
Do you know what this is, Jasmine? Do you know what they're doing?
I have a vague idea. Does it have anything to do with magpies?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know what it is.
Is that
You have no idea until you've been attacked by a magpie, Tabby. You should totally hear magpie
I have
season.
been laughing at
You
people
will
with
not be
magpie.
laughing if a magpie attacks you. Trust me.
so? How
This
in
is
what
serious.
in what way are you attacked? Is it
In the best way.
Verbally.
Yes,
They attack you
magpie.
verbally.
I know exactly what to say to cut
you.
right?
Okay, so what is the official word for the magpie thing? Do you know? I mean, you should.
I don't know. It's just magpie season.
Okay, so even better, it's been coined swooping season.
Okay, yes.
So
Yep.
this is called swooping season, and people, this is a bit extreme, albeit, but people apparently during spring, right?
Yep.
Like the spring months, magpies are mating, and so they get ridiculously territorial, and they start dive bombing people. And it's such a big problem that it's
It
just
is.
commonplace
Yep.
that people
You
will.
don't walk in a park. You do not go out in a park unless you have something on your head.
And I was reading, I think it was a Tumblr post, but it was a guy who was like, oh yeah, over here, it's season, it's swooping season when you just see a 12-year-old pedaling on his bike with an ice cream bucket and antlers on top.
Yes. Ice cream buckets are the best because you can draw eyes on them and then they are scared of the eyes.
And I was like, I need to know more. And so I looked up pictures and I found this beautiful
7 hours
couple.
later.
Put the
Oh
next
my
picture
gosh.
up, Peach.
There you go.
Yes, exactly. And the zip ties make the perfect kind of antlers so that they don't land on your head. I saw these. I was down the street the other day. I saw actual helmets. They sell them with this mohawk of spikes.
Yes.
That they sell them like that.
Yeah, they're like bendy.
Oh,
You don't want to get attacked by these things. They don't just swoop you. They do peck you, and they have a beak this long, and they will make you bleed. My niece came in, and she's got this run of blood down her head because she got attacked by them.
Does anybody go out in a suit of armor? Got anybody
No,
pedaling bikes?
they know where to hit you. They don't go for arms or legs or anything. They go straight for the head. It's dangerous.
Oh my gosh. If you have sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tabby.
If you have free time, you need to watch people testing out magpie helmets. It is the funniest thing I've ever watched. They're always bike pedaling and they're always okay, here comes the magpie. And then it will dive bomb their head and they're screaming and they're it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's kind of
I always wonder where the costume design for the Road Warrior, which was filmed in Australia, came from. So
yeah, magpie season.
that's where, magpie season.
My
Swooping
cheeks
season.
hurt.
He's got the spike stuff coming out.
When I was about 8 or 9, I visited a zoo with my family, and I got lost, and we were all on push bikes. I was only little, and I was getting swooped by this magpie. I don't know why. It's always when you're on a bike, they just go for you, and so I couldn't pedal fast enough. Some Chinese tourists had to come and wave the stupid thing off me, and I was
I know, that's probably
I
not
didn't know where my
funny.
parents were. I was going to attack my bird. It was awful.
I love how you're overselling it a little bit, but I'm sure it's horrible. But it's just to say that you're being attacked by a bird. It's hard when you're back, having experienced it. It's horrible. But then you get back home and you're like, a bird, and everybody's laughing at you. Oh, you don't understand a bird. I get it.
It's the lost Alfred Hitchcock movie, Swooping Season.
Yeah,
Instead of
maybe
the
that's
birds.
why. Maybe
Yeah.
The Birds is a much scarier film if you watch it in
Yeah.
Australia, where they're like, no, not the magpie.
Exactly.
If you're just walking by though, they don't care. It's when you're riding on a bike. You're a little more
Well, they do
aggressive,
when
I
you're
guess.
They do when you're walking. They do when you're picnicking. They do when you're
Oh, he's an easy target.
yeah.
Here he
Thing
comes.
is that I live in the country, and they aren't like that in the country. I think they're a bit more street savvy in towns, and they know that people are not as friendly as they appear. And so I've never been attacked by a magpie outside of town, like in the country where I live.
So the country people have guns and stuff.
Well, I think the idea is it's where their nests are, right? So maybe in the country they have more space, so their nests are maybe just higher up or just not near roads, but they are like protecting their nests, and people will like post to each other like, watch out, there's a bird and blah 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 park, like go around.
Like it's a bear sighting.
Yeah, it's like a next door app called Swoop. With that you with the umlaut. I opened my Swoop app. We got to watch out right here.
Right. Like the gas buddy. Everybody talks about gas prices. They're like, oh no, that magpie's back.
Yep.
And somebody's like, yeah, he was here last year.
Super big.
Yeah.
There's a chubby kid without a helmet. Tell him quick.
Oh my gosh.
But the idea of fashioning your own stuff, like the idea of wearing ice cream buckets on your head and just being like, oh yeah, swooping season, like that is the funniest. That would never fly here.
Oh, very funny.
Well, the fact that you're willing to wear an ice cream bucket with sticks sticking out of it, because the alternative is you're going to get pecked in the head by a magpie.
John. That should tell you something about how these birds are.
That's the best our human ingenuity can come up with. We're like, you know what? I don't know what to do about magpies. I'll just stick this ice cream bucket on my head, and we are the top of the food chain.
I think one guy would have put like a wire with a car battery on his back. And like a minute of
I can't see that ending badly at all, Juan.
Like a bug zapper.
Yeah, magpies, and you're leaving a trail of black birds behind you. At least my bike ride's peaceful today.
Smells like somebody's cooking a chuck.
So do you own a magpie helmet?
I don't. No,
so
I don't.
Just opt for ice cream bucket.
I haven't had to use one because I usually avoid places where I know they're going to be, and I haven't needed to be there. So, yeah, I haven't needed to. But if they were like that around our house, we would probably just draw eyes on an ice cream bucket with a permanent marker.
Here's where that
guys, don't fix it if it's not broke.
Here's where that beanie with the propeller comes in handy, because if that sucker's going,
absolutely.
Put your sunglasses on the back of your head, wear your beanie.
They do put their sunnies on the back of their heads, actually. That is another trick.
See?
Yeah.
And all you guys knew that word because you've learned it today. That's how good the show is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Next time you find a magpie.
We'll know what to do.
Right. Did you get your question answered, Tabby? Are you satisfied?
I did. I'm a little sad she doesn't have one of her own, like sitting right next to her that she could just hold up.
Work on your helmet,
That's what I
Jasmine.
prepared earlier.
Yeah.
Next time we want you to look like the Black Knight from Holy Grail.
Right.
I have a magpie here, and then it would start pecking her.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
You know, the funny thing is, though, here's a little bit of trivia. They make fantastic pets. So if you can brave a magpie attack and one falls out of a nest and you take it home, yeah, they make great pets. You don't have to cage them. They just run around and they squawk at you when they want to get fed, and you just feed them like mincemeat. And they're so fun. We've had a couple, and they're the best fun. They'll just follow you around going, until you feed them, and then you feed them, and then they'll just go away.
And they're good guard birds, too.
They're great pets except for the spring. It gets a little dicey in the spring. They get their own section of the house. You just you take that side.
If you have visitors, you go, here, put this on. When they walk in. You're going to want to wear this. Guest bucket.
You got a sign.
No, we've got an extra pair.
Instead of beware of dog, it says beware of bird. Outside the end of the driveway.
I think there are signs. We actually have signs in parks that says, like, beware of magpies, because if they know that they're there, they have to put signage up.
Why do you live somewhere where half the things can kill you?
You know, it just becomes normal after a while. And you
Just
don't
gotta know where to step.
being weird. Yeah, like you guys live with like bears and cougars and all
They're
these
not
other
swooping
animals.
us in the middle of my street.
I know a
Oh,
lady that had to
watch-
walk down the street with like a golf club in case the cougars come and attacked her. Like,
Guys, you gotta watch out, guys, because it's bear swooping season. And
That's right.
It's bear
we lost,
season.
we lost a couple people last time. They just swoop down on you.
I've heard the bears don't like it when you put birds' nests on your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Some wings.
They run away.
And you draw Winnie the Pooh face in magic marker on
Yeah.
it. So. Doesn't like the Winnie the Pooh face.
You just draw a honey jar on the back of your head.
Yeah.
No, that attracts the bears.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Oh my God. all right. So we got one more thing. I'm going to throw Tabby off this thing.
Bye,
Thanks, Tab.
Tabby.
Hi, Tabby.
That was bad.
Yeah, Tabby, when she was reading to me about swooping season, it took her 40 minutes to get through it because she could not stop laughing. She could not get it together. All right, so this is the last thing that we're going to ask about. So Brian and Juwan, why would we put this up as Australian trivia?
Those are
First of all,
filling the air.
what do you call these, Jasmine?
Taties.
Spuds.
Oh,
Potatoes.
spuds.
All right, titles. All right. So why would I put this up?
I'm
keep
actually as oblivious as you guys.
Really?
I'm going to veer off real quick. This is similar to what happened with the Rubik's Cube. This is really significant in my life because this week I swear to you, I am not making this up. I swear I am not making this up. This week, I ate nothing but potatoes. No salt, no butter, no sour cream, no cheese, no bacon, no nothing. Just plain potatoes, microwaved or baked. I am not kidding. This is the 7th day I've been on nothing but potatoes, and this is hysterical to me because of what I've just gone through. I am
So
crazy.
are you hungry right now or repulsed?
I'm just kind of sad.
Oh, these again.
That's exactly why I put this up. This is a week of Brian April's diet.
Man, I wished I knew there was a diet where I could just eat potato.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
the reason that I brought this up is because it has something to do with the law. Do you know about this, Jasmine? Well, it's a good thing you were on tonight because
Yeah, you don't
because
want to get arrested.
I may be keeping you out of jail. It is actually an offense. It is against the law in Australia to be in possession of more than 50 kilograms of potatoes. It's illegal. So what you're looking at here is an illegal load of potatoes. You're looking at an illegal haul of spuds. Section 22 of the Marketing of Potatoes Act from 1946 prohibits anyone from selling, delivering, purchasing, or taking delivery of 50 kilograms or more of potatoes, unless you are a member of the Potato Corporation or an authorized agent.
I've got credentials. That's why I can carry around 100 kilos of spuds.
Big old sex spuds we feed them to the cane
Oh,
toads.
I've got credentials.
Yep.
I'd like to
So-
see what the potato black market looks like. bunch of fat guys.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I
I
don't
want to
know.
know how long it took you to find that, John. That very obscure fact that not even I knew about.
That was actually one of the first things that I discovered. It's right out there. It's just right on the top of the stack.
It's on the Australia homepage.
Yeah.
Australia.com.
Everybody remember on your Australia Day, keep your potatoes at home.
Under 50 kilograms.
Master.
I'm wondering if it's a big problem. Hundreds of thousands of potatoes. Hundreds and thousands is going to be a thing for us from now on, I think.
What What's did you convert that into how many potatoes that might be on average? 50 kilograms.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
look that up?
Surprisingly, I didn't.
That's what 20 potatoes there? That's gotta be more than that.
It's going to depend on how big the potatoes are.
You're not wrong.
Because you're talking about weight, not volume, Jawan. So if you've got like one 51 kilogram potato is illegal. So if you find a giant potato in Australia, my recommendation is leave it alone. Because if you try to take it,
So my question is, and purely out of curiosity, no real reason at all, would this apply to sweet potatoes as well?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because there is a chance some may or may not have been close to illegal in an illegal possession of
Sweet potatoes.
I grew a sweet potato once, and this is hopefully the government isn't watching, but it was like that big, and it was heavy. But good thing I didn't weigh it because it might have been 50 kilos.
Wow.
And then I would have been in possession of an illegal potato.
And punishment for that, I don't know if you know, the punishment is you lose a couple of fingerlings.
Ah.
Hey.
All right, that was terrible. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that we had a felon on the show tonight.
Neither did I.
That's a
Thank
pretty
you,
big.
John. I
That's a
thought I was
pretty
a good
big
citizen
yam.
until I got on this show.
And that's Jasmine. That's JASMINE.
Be out on Australia Day.
Oh, so great! All right, we are. That's our show. And we didn't even get through half of the stuff that that Jasmine has prepared. There's phrases, there's words. So we'll have to have you come back.
I would love to come back. Thanks for having me again.
No, it's always our pleasure when you come on, and you're welcome. I'm glad that I could educate you about your laws in Australia, because I hate for you to be in the pokey the next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go away and do some real soul searching.
You need to go into the kitchen and throw away some potatoes, probably.
I don't know if you heard that truck backing up. That was the load of potatoes coming in. Right? Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that?
We're in this free country. We're allowed to walk around.
Not now. Not now.
You can't have potatoes, but you must kill the toads. That's. I like it.
Like I said, I didn't say that we made sense. I never promised that. I will never promise that, but I will promise you the truth.
Well, this is the perfect show for not making sense. So
that's all we can ask, that you just tell us the truth. Oh, golly. All right. If you are not a subscriber yet at johnbrandon.com, please go do so immediately. This show is over. You've got nothing else to do this evening. So go and become a subscriber, johnbrandon.com, and help us keep this show coming at you. It's an international phenomenon at this point, and we need your support. Also, Brian Comedy Brian, for all of your Comedy Brian needs.
Yeah.
How many weeks have I been making this announcement? Brian's also on Twitch, and he does live streams from time to time, and he does a double point too if you ask him.
Yeah.
There you go. Check him out. Jawan DeVivo with Casting Crowns. He's a stage left shredder. You can find him at castingcrowns.com, or you can find him in our Telegram group if you want to talk to, which is another reason that you should become a member, so that you can join our Telegram group. Jasmine's in our Telegram group. And we talk about all kinds of stuff. And you're welcome to come and join us. That's our show every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time in the United States. It's actually Monday if you're watching in Australia. But come and join us for Starving Comics. And thank you to Jasmine. And we'll see you guys all next week.